deck the halls without losing your sanity. Hey there, nerdy psychologists. It's that time of year, December, a month of twinkling lights, big meals, and let's face it, occasional meltdowns. Whether you're juggling latkes and gelt for Hanukkah, decorating for Kwanzaa, celebrating winter solstice, or just trying to survive an office holiday party without totally embarrassing yourself, this month can feel like a snow globe of chaos. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Angel. I have a PhD in psychology and a private mental health practice. And I talk about mental health from a practical, strengths-based, and nerdy perspective. Surviving holiday stress and post-holiday blues. But fear not, today we're talking about how to keep your holiday spirit intact while dodging stress and sidestepping those post-holiday blues like a pro. December is a mixed bag, isn't it? On one hand, it's so magical, filled with traditions and family and a reason to wear that ugly sweater that you pretend to hate but secretly love. On the other hand, there's stress. There's family dynamics, shopping lists that are longer than a CVS receipt, and the pressure to make, well, everything perfect. And let's not even start with how your to-do list never includes time for you. This episode is all about how to enjoy your traditions and make meaningful memories without turning into the frazzled Grinch. We'll also touch on the post-holiday blues. You know, that now what feeling that creeps in after the decorations come down. Tackling holiday stress. First up, holiday stress. Why does this happen every year? It's like December shows up and then suddenly we're juggling snowballs made of stress and expectations and glitter. Here are some tips to help you reclaim your sanity. Tip number 1, set boundaries like a pro. Not every event or tradition needs your attendance. Repeat after me. No is a complete sentence. Period. No is a complete sentence. Period. A friend of mine politely declined a cookie exchange party last year because, well, she just needed a mental health day. And guess what? The world didn't end, her cookies did not go stale, and everything was fine. Sometimes we lie to ourselves and make ourselves feel like everything has to have us in it. We have to attend and accept every invitation that comes our way. We get the perfect dinner pressure. You know, like I once had a client who totally stressed herself out every year making like the picture perfect holiday dinner. Like think Martha Stewart on total steroids. One year her oven broke mid cooking. And you know what? Turns out they ordered pizza. And guess what? It was one of the most memorable and fun holiday meals they ever had. In fact, her grown children reminisce and talk about that Christmas as one of their favorite Christmases they had ever experienced. The moral of that story is sometimes the unexpected can create the best memories. We need to budget our time and money. Yes, overspending is the fast track to January regret. Gift giving from your heart, not so much the credit card. The best gifts are presents, not presents. Absolutely planning for the holidays can be both exciting and a bit overwhelming. So we want to learn how to budget our time, well, and our money a little bit more effectively. So budgeting our time. Create a little schedule for yourself. Start by listing all of the activities and events that you want to attend, that you enjoy to attend, that mean something, or the ones you want to host. Use a calendar to block out time for each activity so you can ensure you have enough time for preparation, planning, and travel. Prioritize tasks. Identify the most important task and focus on them first. This might include shopping for gifts or decorating or meal planning or whatever, or crafting. Give yourself some deadlines in this. Assign a deadline for each task that you want to keep up with so you can keep track. This will kind of help you avoid some of that last minute stress that comes up and always creeps up, because things never ever ever go the way that we think they're going to go in our mind. They always look so picture perfect when we think about it and we're planning it, and the reality, it just doesn't execute the same way. Delegating. Well, delegate responsibilities. When possible, share tasks with your family members, your friends, with people around you. It can completely not just lighten your load, but can let them participate too. In fact, when we aren't delegating and asking for help, a lot of times we're robbing those people around us of the opportunity to kind of get involved in the holiday traditions and preparations. And it makes it more enjoyable for everybody when we all have a stake in the game. And even young kids can get involved, from things like sorting things or sealing holiday card envelopes or doing little things that are part of the tradition for you. Remember, take breaks. Schedule some downtime to relax and recharge. Just because we have all this extra stuff happening in December does not mean the rest of our life from January to November goes on pause. It does not. It does not. It does not. It is there. So you still have the house to manage and your job to keep up with and all these regular everyday things on top of bigger meals, new recipes, get-togethers, hosting, going, gift buying, gift wrapping, all the things that could come into play of your tradition. And guess what happens? You already have like no energy because we do so much all the time. And then we come into, well, let's just face it, Thanksgiving, kind of the unofficial start of the holiday season for a lot of people. And our body and our time is just so overwhelmed. We are carrying boulders of stress. And so you got to have that time. You have to recharge you. You cannot give what you do not have. And if you keep pushing through, you're just damaging yourself even more. And so the holiday should be enjoyable, not exhausting. When you are working to watch your money, set a budget. Determine what can you really afford to spend on gifts. And include your food in that budget and decorations in that budget. What can you realistically afford or choose to delegate toward that this year? And then stick to your budget, so we can avoid the overspending, so we can avoid, make that list so that you can write down the things you need to buy and estimate their cost. This is going to help you keep track of what you're spending and avoid impulsive purchases, because honestly, the holiday time is full of impulsive purchases. I mean, the whole Black Friday phenomenon is about getting you to buy things you really don't need, just because they're a lot less money than they might normally be. But if you didn't need it, or it wasn't a great gift, it wasn't a great gift and you didn't need it, no matter how inexpensive the item was. And so we want to look for deals and take advantage of sales. We want to take advantage of those discounts, those coupons, but in a meaningful way. If it was something that works in our budget and might make a great gift or an item for that person or ourselves, then we get it. Shop early. That can help us find better deals too and avoid all the holiday rush. Because honestly, this is the time of year, I gotta tell you, I'll be honest, I don't even want to walk into a store from Halloween till the end of the year, because no matter what store you go to, they're always just chaotic, crowded, everybody's in a hurry, like it's a mess. And so if you can get ahead of some of that holiday rush, is really helpful. And don't be afraid to DIY gifts and decorations. Like, totally awesome. In fact, there's complete YouTube channels dedicated to DIY decorations and gifts, and some really amazing things out there that even somebody with like zero artistic skills like me can do. So if I can do some of these, I know y'all can do some of these, and they're really cool. And there's something about the pride and the satisfaction you feel when you made that wreath that's hanging on your wall, or you put together this really cool gift that you made for someone, and there's love that goes into that. Like, that takes time and effort and planning and consideration, and I think that's a wonderful thing to do for people. Anybody can buy a gift card, but not anyone could sew a really cool makeup bag or make an apron or make something thoughtful for that person. So making your own decorations or gifts or both, this can be such a fun and cost-effective way to kind of give a personal touch for the holidays. And remember, track your finances. This will help you stay within your budget and identify areas where you can cut back if needed. Maybe December is a great time to put a pause on some of those subscriptions to television services that maybe you're not using because you're going to be out going to events and school concerts for your kids and holiday parties or holiday lights or just extra things. So maybe we can back off on some of those subscriptions for the next few months and regain a little bit of that money back in a different space and place. Planning ahead also helps us to stay a little bit organized so we can enjoy that stress-free season. And so, do you have any specific activities or expenses in mind that you want to include that might be included in your holiday tradition? Gift giving can definitely go way overboard. A friend of mine used to buy dozens, I am not even kidding, dozens of gifts for her kids every single year. And you know what happened? Half of them either ended up unopened, unused, or just thrown on the floor in some corner of a room that made more mess for other people to have to clean up. So last year she tried something different. Each year she decided to buy the kids 3 meaningful gifts that each child wanted. And then she bought a family experience, like a trip or amusement park passes for the year or escape room or the movie gift certificate. And her kids loved it. And not only did it make the holiday more meaningful, but it kept the clutter down. It kept the pressure off of her of all these things they have to go figure out and buy and wrap and do. And then we also made some beautiful memories that lasted more than the actual holiday itself. So that can be a really great alternative way to celebrating. In fact, experiences are a great way. I find a lot of people buy the things they want to buy for themselves a lot of the time, but having those experiences, if it's, girls' night out or a dinner and a movie, or my kids are grown and we would go on family vacations. We would do a November, December kind of in between the holidays. We did family cruises for the last few years, and it was just completely a blast. We've rented cabins up in the mountains. We have just worked to make that time together, which is so precious when your kids are adults and you don't get that as often because everybody's out there living life. But we started that when they were kids, and I will tell you, some of my favorite memories when I think back of my kids growing up was the things we did together. I couldn't probably tell you about 3 or 4 gifts I've ever bought for them through the years. I bought their gifts, they just weren't memorable. But the things we did together, the watching the holiday movies, we started a tradition in our house where from Thanksgiving to Christmas, every night we played a different holiday movie or cartoon or show. I would make special snacks that we could only have from Thanksgiving to January 1, things like homemade fudge and we'd have chocolate covered cherries. We'd have traditional cherry Coke and vanilla Coke that we'd made with syrup. I would make chocolate covered pretzels and divinities and extra special cookies and things like that. And we would have little snacks every night and watched our little holiday flick. And if it was a night life was a little busy and it was a school night, it might have been the short Grinch or the cartoon Charlie Brown. Or if we had nights we had more time, it could be a great movie like Elf or Deck the Halls, or like a longer movie. And that tradition was so anchoring, and we looked forward to the holiday season. It wasn't just this build up for this day or this series of days. It was the experience of the whole season. And we look forward to that every year. And even now, as they're grown adults, we talk about, oh, let's watch this movie or let's watch that movie, or they'll come over and they'll bring something that they made homemade that's in our tradition. And it's a beautiful thing to see that tradition, them build on that and include that into their own adult lives. Cool. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite December tradition? Or what's your quirkiest holiday survival tips? And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share this episode with anyone who might need a little extra holiday cheer. Until next time, stay curious, be kind, keep your mind nerdy, and take care of your amazing self. See you next time.